Good morning, everybody. Minister Stanley here. And I have come across some information that needs to be out here. It needs to be spread. I want to thank Never Lose Truth, must see on CV, COVID Action Platform, Tell All. Site tells all site, Renew World Order mirrored from Rooster's House. I'm going to have to check out what Rooster's House is. I'm sure it's another YouTube channel, but I came across this and was absolutely floored. I have not gone through the whole video, but prior to this, they showed a video on this planning of this event that we are in right now for 50 years, and how a lot of what we are seeing are crisis actors. This is from their own words. And you really need to come watch this video in full. But what we're going to look at is going to floor you.
Search. This is showing a 50-year platform design of bringing about the smoke screen that you all heard, the corona, to bring global change in a ways that you never knew was happening behind and underneath your feet. Watch this. When you go here, you have to, first of all, remember, you have to register your name and your email in order to be able to view what I'm about to show you. Okay, so when you go here on Strategic Intelligence, Corona 19, okay, you go right here and wait for it to open here. I'm going to show you all how to navigate through here, okay? This is really big, guys. This, I can't even stress to you all how big this is.
This is huge.
This is the Pandora's box. You're looking at the most sophisticated algorithm mapping systems ever designed, and it's designed through the cloud program, which I'm going to enlarge this so you can see it. Give me just 1 second here, okay? All right.
Okay, let's see if we can't get... Okay, here we go.
Okay. I want you all to feast your eyes on the most sophisticated algorithm mapping system you will ever see in your life. This took forever for these people to do. This wasn't something they just stumbled on in the last few weeks. You can see the name on there. Took a long time to program this into this system. Okay? Watch carefully. Pay very close attention. Over here it gives you a group of categories. Okay? Under the corona, it gives you the government response to corona, corona impacts on financial markets, corona 19 impacts on trades and finding vaccinations, avoiding corona infections and spread. Okay? Now, each one of these little strings that you see this right here are all tentacles that are what you call layers. Okay? They're layers of information that just goes on and on and on and on. You see them highlighting when I run my mouse over it? Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a demonstration. And now over here is the summary of each title you click on will show up here. Also giving you where you can read more of it. You can also, some of them will have audio where you can play the audio, and you can, but I encourage you to listen to the audios too, because they give clue informations and keyword informations in there that reveals everything we've been showing you all and have been talking about for the longest time. Okay? Now, also gives you videos, gives you extra data that you can about each subject that you want to get on. Okay, also gives you the latest news and articles that you can find here in this section here on the subject. Okay, so this is the information hell. It is the literal holy grail of everything I've ever dreamed of having. It opened up the Pandora's box and shows you all how they changed government using Corona as a smokescreen to do it. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be totally shocked when you see this. But you already knew when we've been talking, giving warnings before, that they're trying to form a one world government. And now you see that all in one. Watch. Now, do you see that? I clicked on government response to the corona, and you see the tentacles open up? Okay. Now, over here it gives you the summary of what it's how you say enduring, okay? What it's talking about. And on that subject, it gives you all the details on this particular subject, okay? Now, then up
It's
here,
really hard
you
to
can
see.
where it gives you all the categories where they're going to change, or where they wanted to change the government and change into this new world order. Okay, citizens and citizens and urbanization. Okay, workforce and employment, civic participation, public finance and social protection, healthcare delivery, and justice and law. See, even they wanted to change the laws and do away with the Constitution. That's all because of the corona as a smokescreen. And then global governance, which means in referring to one world government. Okay?
That would be
And
China.
it also gives you the agile governance and humanitarian action. And on this, it gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 tentacles just under this subject here. Now we're going to click on this. Now you got to remember, each tab that you click on, and each title or topic you click on has 200 layers or more on that subject. Watch, it changes. I click on one. Watch what happens. It changes the map, and it gives you layers after layers after layers. Okay? Now, your categories even change because these are the categories under the global governance that we just picked, okay? It gives you all the summary over here, just like you had on the first one, okay? But it gives you titles after titles all under the global governance. So we're going to go here. You got here rising multipolarity, and then you have anti-globalism, and then deepening interdependence, transnational actors. And there you go, actors, more actors. They love using actors. Okay, institutional polarism. Okay, now we're going to click on this one just so we can give you an idea of what we're talking about. Okay. Oh, also you have 5G networks. See, all that was also included. Everything to imply and to create new security systems and all this. This goes into details, people. All of the plans that they have been working on for 50 plus years. See, they did
University
not
of
just come
Oxford.
up with Corona. This is wicked stuff. Okay? Now, watch. We're going to go to anti-globalism, okay? And we're going to read this a little bit. And then I'm going to see if it's got a video, or let's see if we can.
Okay, I don't know how much I can actually play of this. I think I might have played a little bit too much, but never lose truth. I hope that we could get together and maybe do a live video together. I am looking at the biological aspect of this, and at first, when this first came out, we got the information that there was part of HIV-1 homology in there, but other researchers have said that there are 4 HI1 components in there, that there's SARS and MERS in there as well. The paper trail goes back to the Department of Defense in North Carolina.
Listen to it first. Hang on a second. Let's listen to the audio before I go any further. Listen to the audio.
Here's Thomas Hale from the University of Oxford, describing some of the key issues associated with the topic of global governance.
We need global governance more than ever. In a world of deepening interdependence, global issues are the daily bread and butter of what governments are trying to deliver for citizens. We can't have peace or prosperity, live good lives, unless we're dealing with things like climate change or pandemic disease or global financial crises.
Climate change. The U.S. owns 175 patents on geoengineering and weather modification. Not only do they have patents on how to create rain, but how to disperse the clouds in case there's too much rain. They can make snow. They can change the trade wind directions that will cause hurricanes, that will cause tornadoes. They have supersonic detonation to create tidal waves, to create earthquakes. They even have a patent, and the number is not resonating right now, but they can use a mirrored satellite to either heat up the atmosphere and or pinpoint a section of Earth and heat it up. So there's your global change, your climate change, your weather. What other words do they use? The ice age is coming again. We're all going to die because of weather change. NASA has even admitted by 2025 they will have full control over the weather. This is where your donations to climate change are going. They are going to using weather as a means of warfare. And who is it against? It's against us.
But the tools we use to manage these kind of global issues, to manage our interdependence, are increasingly gridlocked. If we think about the global trade system, we haven't had a new trade deal at the multilateral level for about 20 years. If we look at the Middle East, we see uncontrollable wars spiraling out of control without any kind of collective security apparatus to prevent them from slipping over into other issue areas. And related, we see, for example, a global migration crisis where people are moving in search of a better life, in search of human dignity, and not being able to be cared for by a global system that's under incredible strain.
Okay. They want to control,
to turn against the American people and also against every individual person worldwide. And their governments were also behind the one world government. Iran was behind it. Every country, Iran, Turkey, all of the Middle Eastern countries were all for the global governance. They all already were on board. They were all pretending to be enemies with each other so that they could keep you always focused on the enemy, always creating issues, that you're focused on the issues instead of focusing on what these SOBs were doing behind the scenes. And now you see exactly what they were doing. They were not just creating a one world government, they were going in detail with their one world government. And you notice how he calls us out and calls us nationalist backlash against globalization. And that's what he says right here. And that's what he was talking about the backlash. Listen to that.
Failure to manage globalization, to manage global issues, creates conditions under which nationalist or populist movements come to power. Now, those leaders are in many ways articulating legitimate grievances, people who have been hurt by the financial crisis in 2008, for example, or who are struggling to adjust to new realities,
adjust to new realities. This goes back to Donald Trump saying that some businesses will not come back ever. Is that your non-essential business that he's talking about? He also said that some of those businesses will remain, but those who were in charge will no longer be in charge of them. Now, is that because those people are involved in child trafficking? Is this because those businesses are going to be confiscated? David Wilson. I've seen him with both those names on different YouTube channels, but he has said that he has been giving information from the government and when he can release it. He mentioned that we need to trust this plan, that arrests are being made, kids are being rescued, but he has to expose the plan at our expense. But my issue is the fact that the military complex has a history, a very, very long history of coming out, pulling at our heartstrings, and then taking more of our rights away from us. I will not comply willingly to a forced vaccine. I understand how my immune system works. I understand how vaccines damaged my immune system. I understand how vaccines caused encephalitis in my brain that caused my dyslexia. I understand how vaccines caused my son's paralyzed stomach at age 2. He is now 27. And because of our choice to go natural healing, we are both doing better. I also have interstitial cystitis, which is also connected to vaccines. Fibromyalgia is said to be connected to vaccines. I seen a study the other day that said, I think it was 79% or it was 94.7% of all SIDS deaths happened on the same day they got a vaccine. I tried to file a vaccine injury claim for my son. As soon as I pushed the button, there was absolutely no way anyone could have viewed this injury claim, and it was denied in just seconds. So that's how come we don't hear of all these vaccine injuries, because we have a no-fault vaccine court that covers up these vaccine injuries.
To stand up and demand some sort of collective solution. But unfortunately, they're increasingly demanding solutions that are not constructive to solving the problem, but instead undermining the ability of governments to cooperate across borders to resolve the problems that gave rise to the backlash in the first place. And so we see a self-reinforcing cycle of gridlock, where a failure to manage globalization and manage global governance well leads to more reactions against globalization that make the problem even harder to solve.
Okay.
Basically telling us that let the government handle everything, and we nationalist backlashers that are against the globalization, just back off and just trust the government. Put all your love in the government. They will handle everything. No, people, that is not what they're trying to do. We're trying to enslave the damn world.
And they want to start with the white population. That's how come they are trying to divide so many people. They misrepresent the crime rates between races. They manipulate numbers. And this is just, when does it stop? Please go to Never Lose Truth and watch this video. It just might wake you up. We're going to end this video, and we're only about halfway through. I will try and find this website, and I will add it to the comments. So let's do a fast prayer. Heavenly Father, please wrap your white light of protection around each and every one of us as we go through these uncertain times with a government that we have watched lose control of their oath to the Constitution, their oath to the people of this country, to the world. We need to fix our country first, and it starts with, Lord, exposing those evildoers who are trafficking our children, our teens, our people for their dirty deeds of organ harvesting, of sex trafficking, of slave labor. We need to have access to what the government is doing, because we are paying them to do us right, not do us wrong. Lord, open eyes, open ears, and have our tongues spread the truth so that we can wake up the masses to see what our governments are doing to us. And hopefully it's not too late. In your precious, precious name, amen. All right, Minister Jane Stanley, signing off.